What's up, everyone? It's Keaton Photography, and I'm back again with another tutorial. It's been a while since I last did a video, but it's due to some reasons. But we're back again, and a lot more is coming. So today, the kind of picture I want to edit here is quite different from the pictures I've been editing initially. Because today here, as you can see, it's a full portrait. I've never done a tutorial of editing a full portrait image, and this is the first one. So this is our image, and I've just done slight color correction, and yeah, I've cropped it into Instagram size. That's 4 to 8. I can't remember. I did a tutorial. You can check it. It's there. I did a tutorial about cropping. So this is the image, and the process is pretty much simple, and it's familiar with everyone. So like the process is still the same. So I think without further ado, let's get straight to it. So this is our image, and let me zoom it and so that it can fit to the screen. Yeah, so there we go. I already did the minor adjustment that I wanted to do, and the first thing I do is, like I always say, you duplicate your background layer twice. That's by, if you're using Windows, it's Control J, press it twice. If you're using a Mac, then it's Command J twice. So, and then here we have layer 1 and layer 1 copy. So layer 1, you will rename it texture, and layer 1 copy, you will rename it you will rename it color. Yeah, so let me do that. When you're done, you group them. You choose the texture layer or the color, just any of them. Then on your keyboard, press Control or Command, then press the other layer. And then you press Control G or Command G to group it. There we go. And then name your group frequency separation. There we go. So I always prefer working with a black and white layer, so I don't want to create a black and white layer. You go to adjustments down here, and then go to black and white. So you have to bring down your reds until around there is fine. Let's leave it at that. And yeah, we can now disable it first. So you go to your color layer, and then go to filter up here, blur, Gaussian blur. Let me zoom it a bit. So this is the image. Let me bring this radius first to 0, and then you increase as you see the details of the image. Yeah, so let's go to I think something like 5 is good with this image. And never should you cram these figures or these values, because they vary from image to image. We shoot images with different cameras with different megapixels, so this radius you shouldn't cram it. Every image has its own value. So for this one, let me use 5 and press OK. Now go to the texture layer and then go up here to image and then apply image. So what you do is source is your original image now, and then layer, you go choose your color layer, because we want to subtract the color from the textures, so that's why you have to choose the color layer. So channel should be RGB. This is red, green and blue. Leave it at that. And then blending, you go choose subtract, because that's what you need to do. Opacity 100. Scale should always be 2. Offset should be 128, and then you're good to go. Press OK. After that, go to your blending options here and then choose linear light, and then get back to your original image. So let me now enable my black and white layer. Let me zoom the image. A little more. I'll leave it at that. So the next thing you do, go to your tools here on your left, then go take your, how do you call it, your mixer brush tool here. Now the settings to your mixer brush tool, I'll never get tired repeating this. So it should always be a clean brush. Then this first icon here, you don't click it, click the second one, and then the wetness should be 9%, load 75, mix 90, flow 100. That's fine. Those are the settings to your mixer brush tool, like always. Now I want to start working on the image. Yeah, that's fine. So what you do here, you just have to brush, but what you do, you brush the highlights, midtones, shadows separately. You don't have to mix, just separately and slowly. Try to be sure with what you're doing. Oh, sorry, and here I forgot, you always, when working on it, on your image, you should choose your color layer. Yeah, so yeah, now you should just start brushing the highlights here. And the nose, you always, when editing, you shouldn't be in a hurry at all. if yet you want to achieve best results, you just need to be careful with what you do. Let's see before and after before you continue. Before, after, I think you can notice some difference. The highlights here on the nose. Now let's go to the legs. The legs now. You just do the same like I said, everywhere. On the hands. Yeah, now let me disable my black and white layer and see what we have. So this is what you have. Let me zoom it out. This is what we have. So let me zoom it in again. Yes, and the next thing I'll do, I'll go pick my lasso tool, and then the feather should be around 20 to 24 thereabout. Then you just draw carefully according to the shape of the face. And then go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Now the radius that we picked initially was 5, and for the best results, what you need to be doing, for the best results, you always need to multiply your radius by 3, and that's when you get good results. So for this, it was 5, so 5 multiplied by 3 will be 15, and that's what we use. There we go. Here again, you repeat the same until you are done. Although in most cases, what I normally do with full body portraits when editing them, I normally don't, after using the mixer brush tool, I leave it at that, and I don't have to use the lasso tool again unless I'm doing a head shot, beauty shot. That's when I'll use it for perfection. But for a full image, you don't have to do that much. when you work with the lasso tool and the mixer brush tool, then you at times need to leave it just at that. But for the for the for the tutorial purpose, let me just use it. Yeah, for full body portraits, I always say I don't have to be so perfect. I don't have to be so perfect. I think you're good. Let me zoom it out. And there we go. Let me now zoom it in again. Yeah, leave it at that. So the next thing I want us to do is to enhance the makeup. Yes, I have my actions here like always. If you need them, you can reach me through my Instagram and we can negotiate about them. So let's start with the lips. So just for actions make your work much easier. So you just go pick the action you want to use. Like here there are written names, so lip enhancer here. Yeah, go choose your brush, just the normal brush. Opacity should be 100, and then brush the lips just to make them more visible and make them pop. Yeah, so let's go to eyeshadow. Eyebrows, whiten the eyes, and there we're good to go. The next thing, and I guess almost the last thing, is dodging and burning. So how do you go about that? Go to your adjustments here, go to curves, and then just raise it up a little bit. That's fine. Then invert it back to normal. That's Control I. Then name it dodge. Double click to name it. Go to adjustments again, curves. This time round you take it down just a little bit. I think that's fine. Invert it by pressing Control I or Command I. Then rename it burn. So you group it, put it in a group, then name your group dodge and burn. So let me enable my black and white layer, because I normally use the black and white layer because it's like a guide. It helps you to clearly see when you need to burn, when you need to dodge, because here we need to burn the shadows and dodge the highlights. So let's start with dodge. So you dodge the highlights like here. Sorry. I normally use, for dodging and burning the opacity, I normally use 50%. Don't leave it at 100 because it will be way too much. So I normally work with 100 and it works well. So it starts here. Dot the highlight here on the nose. Anywhere you see a highlight, you just dodge it. I think you're done with it. Let's see before and after. Before, after, before, after. I think you can notice some difference. Now let's go to burn. The nose here. Let's see before and after. Before, after, before, after. I think you're done. Let me disable the black and white layer, and here is what we have now. So let me zoom it out. So this is what we have. The next thing I'll do is color grading, and with that I use the selective color, but because of time I normally have my presets that I made. I guess the day that I'll do a tutorial about color grading, that's when we'll concentrate on it, but for the purpose of this one, let me just use my preset that I made a few months ago. Yeah, so here they are. So I select it, then load. Here you go. I think it works well. Maybe let me reduce the opacity just slightly. 90 is fine. Another thing I'd want to add is the LUT that I made also. I'll just load it, and although I'm not so sure about it, let's see the results that it can give. So you select it and then load. It's way overboard, but let me try and reduce the opacity to around 40, let's see, 40%. Yeah, 40 is, I think it's nice. Yes, and that's how I edit the pictures, and this is what we have now. So I think we're done with this, and I'll be back again with another one. So kindly subscribe, share, comment, like, and yeah, it's good to support one another. So I think I'm done with this one, and see you in the next one.